Gonker isn't any dog. He's my best friend. Everyone needs one soul who loves you because you are you. That's who Gonker was for me. And now he's lost. Gonker!
I promise you we will find that dog.
You promise? How can you say that?
Because I believe it.
What a sweet movie. I really loved it. I have a huge dog, like 100-pound dog,
Wow.
who could never make it in the real world, but I thought it was very sweet. But it's more than just a dog movie. I think a lot of it has to do with, the parent, father-son relationship. So could Rob and Johnny kind of talk about that a little bit?
It's one of the things that drew me to it. I mean, first of all, I love a good dog movie, and I love a movie that's going to make you cry. Good cry, not traumatized cry, happy cry. But the story of the father-son bonding and, healing of that relationship and the family coming to be able to know each other in a way that they didn't before going through this crisis was, I think that's the really important part of the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Kimberly, I thought your character had a lot of depth to it too, because it talks about her past and everything. Can you go kind of into that?
Yeah, Ginny, and this is all based on a true story, but Ginny had a really rough childhood, and my character in the movie lost a dog when she was little, and she's never healed from it. So at first, she really doesn't want to let this new dog into her life. He's disruptive, and she doesn't want to form a connection with that dog because she doesn't want to get her heart broken again. But then ultimately, Ginny finds great healing in helping to find this dog, be part of the command center at home. I didn't get to go out on the trail with these guys, but yeah, it was really a special role to play. I loved it.
And Johnny, your character's kind of making a huge life transition, right? And trying to find himself. But I thought that was also an important message because that's, everybody goes through that after college. And so could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely relatable in that sense of, I think we all have those moments in life where we're like, what am I doing with my life? What do I want to do? And we have all that pressure from society, from parents asking us, what are you going to do? And we find Fielding at a time where he has no idea what he wants to do. He's sort of this free spirit that moves, and all of his friends those are the career people. And that's when he finds Gonker, he finds another free spirited being that just gets him on a deeper level. It just makes the search that much more important because it's so much more than just a dog. It's his best friend. It's the one being that understands him. And through that, he's able to connect with his family and the community really comes together through that. So yeah, it's very relatable in that way.
And as a parent, I felt like there's some good messages in there too. Parents sometimes have to learn as well on how to, their kid is transitioning to different, stages of life. And, I liked your character, Rob, because he was willing to, kind of go out on the adventure no matter what. So can you kind of talk about, what he had to learn and I just like that they kind of stuck together and they did it all together.
Yeah, it's, this father and this son are very different people. They're very different and they see the world differently. They react to things differently. And for the first time, I think they make a good team. Mm-hmm. They have different strengths and different weaknesses. And previously that was probably not easy. And now it's actually a strength. So getting out on the trail, getting out in the wilderness, getting into the adversity, brings them together. And just a side note, it was so much fun to be out there in the waterfalls and the scenery. It was super beautiful. We had a blast being outdoor on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that must have been nice because you're, usually in a more controlled environment as actors, but to be in nature, that lifts your spirit right there. So.
Oh yeah. And we were surrounded by dogs. It was great.
Were there any great stories about the dogs on set or anything? The
dogs are amazing. They hit their mark better than any of the actors.
They're so great. I remember this one time actually. It was Fielding does these breathing exercises in the morning with Gonker.
Yeah.
And we're on our back, and right before I remember Rob appeared in my ear and he said, if you show your teeth, you'll look just like the dog. And I didn't know what that meant until I watched the movie. And because Gonker laying on his back, his beautiful smile is right there, and we looked like the same thing.
Right?
You're smart.
His little, like, dog flaps.
Yeah.
Where, like, yes, his teeth. I was like,
We would be laying backwards on the bed, and I'd just look over, and Gonker would look at me and smile. It was like, come on.
I miss that.
Yeah, we'll see him tonight.
Yeah.
You probably fell in love with him just being with him.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, I also thought it was so sweet because your character says, I believe, I think it was Kimberly, your character, that says, why are you, kind of into this? And he said, no, I believe it's going to happen. So what was that? Where did that spur from? What was that kind of belief there?
well, I mean, it's a true story. So, which is one of the things I love about this. It just makes it so much more resonant, I think. But I think as a dad who's super practical, my character, he's very, very analytical. In fact, that's what he is. He's an analyst. That to have a belief like that is probably something that's not in his makeup. And I think that's why the family is so struck with his unwavering faith. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a gift that this dog's disappearance gave him, is maybe gave him a little, maybe a little, in addition to being analytical, to have a little more faith.
Yeah, I love that.
They did. Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't give up, Mm-mm. Thank goodness.
I know, that was amazing. So I want to investigate it more into the real story, because that's an incredible story. Kimberly and Johnny, what were the things that stood out to you when you took on the project?
Yeah, I mean, that element of like all hands on deck, it was one of those things that they reached out to the community and then the country, and people were calling in, and Jenny made a sign that said team of heroes, and listed everybody that was responsible for finding this dog. And it couldn't have been one person that would find it. Everybody needed to come together and work together to find him. And they did. And I love that about it. And also I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I love dog movies. So it was so thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, yeah, exactly what she said. The heart at the core of the story is absolutely. I love a family drama, but to put it in this context, and also, I mean, it was on my bucket list to work with a dog. So absolutely, I was like, please.
Thanks for doing this.
We will find that dog.
Why won't you stop saying that?
Because I believe it.
It's like you two are on an epic journey together.
Like a quest.
An epic quest. Like a vision quest.